यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलम् ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्. Hari Om. In the last session, we had seen the prasanga of Shiva Vivaha. Vivaha, the word in Sanskritam, one of the ways of opening it is Vishishtam Vahanam iti Vivaham. Going towards a goal in a special way, in a very unique way, with a special purpose. Vishishtam Vahanam. Vahanam means to go, but with a very clear goal and in a very specific way. That is called as Vivaha. What is our goal? Goal is Shiva. So that is why that whole prasanga is called Shiva Vivaha. Because the one who is going towards the goal over here is our Parvati ji, who started with a long story back when she saw Lord Shiva doing namaskara to Lord Rama in that avatara when he was running from tree to tree, lamenting about Sita ji. And Lord Shiva said, Jai Satchidananda Agapavana. He said, Jai Satchidananda, and then Sati ji got deluded. And this entire prasanga of Shiva Vivaha is the journey of an adhikari from Sati ji to Parvati ji. Adhikari of Ramayana or adhikari of Vedanta. What was the difference between Sati ji and Parvati ji? That portion is beautifully elaborated in these chaupais. We study so many Vedantic texts like Tattva Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, Aparoksha Anubhuti, Vedanta Sara. These are few texts where Adhikari Prakaranam is elaborated. But in those texts only definition is given. Like for example, if you ask what is Shraddha? So in Tattva Bodha we saw it is Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha. That is called as Shraddha. But how it blossoms in our heart, what happens when we don't have Shraddha, all of that is elaborated in Ramayana. So the difference between Sati ji and Parvati ji is this quality, and that is of Shraddha. Other qualities might have been there. For example, Sati ji asked question with lot of viveka. Means when she said, is this same person who is crying, how can the same person be Brahma? Is this Rama same as that Rama whom you worship? So a lot of viveka is going on. Intellectually, she is thinking very finely about these things. Otherwise, anybody would have said, okay, he must have done pranam to somebody, let us carry on. But she questions. Sati ji questions, but she questions with lot of doubt in her heart. Samshaya it is called, with a doubting mind. And what made her from Sati ji to Parvati ji was that all the tapasya that she did and the effort she put in to hold on to the words of her Guru Narad ji. So if we get a question that I don't have that Shraddha right now, how should I increase it? How can I increase my Shraddha? So then it is said we should do exactly what Parvati ji did. Because Shraddha is not something that we can get from outside. It comes through living a sincere life of discipline and trying to hold on to some support in our life. In case of Parvati ji, it was the words of her teacher. Right? Naradji's words, she held on to very firmly, and she said, no matter what happens, I'm not going to leave my goal. With that, her Shraddha became stronger and stronger, and now she becomes the fit student for Ramayana. Another thing we also noted was that in between, so many obstacles came. Saptarishis came, her mother asks her so many questions. Mainly to point out that the goal which you have set for yourself is a very dry and uninteresting goal. Sometimes we also get that thought that when you think about nature of Brahma, he said it is always samaha, sada samaha, nirvikaraha, nirgunaha, nirakaraha. One wonders, what kind of Brahma it is. All dry, nothing. I like variety. So Sati ji, changing into Parvati ji, is very firm on this conviction that even if my goal is of this nature, it is the only goal which is worth having. Because I have tried everything else, although it might look very glittery in the beginning, it is not eternal. Rather, it is very impermanent, and that is not something what I want to have as my goal. They are good for appreciation, but that alone cannot be my goal of life. And having known Brahma, which is a substratum of everything in this creation, what is remaining to be known again? But at this point, even if somebody doesn't have conviction in this teaching, at least we should go with this faith, with this Shraddha, that whatever our rishis have told us, whatever Bhagwan Krishna has told us in Bhagavad Gita, or over here, the teachings in Ramayana, there is some goal which I should aim for. They have walked this path, they have seen it for themselves, and then they are as though just trying to help us out. That is the glory of Shraddha, where even if I don't see the world as mithya right now, even if I don't have firm conviction that I am Brahma, at least I know that what they are talking, that they have firm knowledge about what they are telling us. The one who has samshaya, that person will doubt the teaching itself. That person will doubt the teacher, the teaching, and of course, Shastra. Whereas on the other hand, if somebody is a jijnasu, somebody is a mumukshu, that person has not attained conviction yet, but that person has lot of Shraddha. And they know that if we walk this path, we will see that truth for ourselves. So with that, thing in mind, we should study this prasanga. And as we had seen before, it is not that we have no Shraddha at all. However intellectual we might be, we have Shraddha to some measure in something or the other. And what is Shraddha? Shraddha is that which makes me believe in a thing even if I don't have intellectual conviction or clarity right now. Shraddha is that thought. It will make us believe in a thing even if my intellect does not have full clarity about that thing right now. Means whenever we get into a plane, we don't know exactly how this plane is working. Right? We don't know what the pilot is doing, what he has qualification. What makes us sit there and come out after that long flight, all belted up and everything, and we do exactly what they say, right? We don't question anything. It is Shraddha only. But then we feel, when it comes to this creation, you see, this creation is random. There is nobody who is taking care of it. There is no Bhagavan who is taking care of this creation. What does Bhagavan Shankaracharya say? Bhajagovindam, he says, right? One line. I'm blanking on that shloka now. Vatula kim tava nasti niyanta. He says, hey, Vatula. Vatula means somebody who has not thought, whose mind is just swinging from here to there. He says, why are you worried so much? Vatula kim tava nasti niyanta. In this creation has a creator, and it is his responsibility to take care of this creation. And what he expects us to do is just keep doing our duty well. Right? He is taking care of his part. We should take care of our part. It's a beautiful prasanga which has an adhyatmic drishti also, with which we should look at. Vivaha, which is Vishishta Vahanam. But what is the goal? Goal is towards our own true nature, which is Shiva Tattva. Now, after the mandapa and everything was set, and after that, Lord Shiva came, took the hands of Parvati ji, and all the devatas were very happy. I am reading above Doha number 101. Now, I think you'll have to get familiar skipping Dohas. Skipping means I'm explaining all the points, but we are not reading word by word. So after everything was done, Himavan came and he gave lots of gifts to Lord Shiva. And he gave it out of joy, out of that gratitude towards Bhagavan. Now, these traditions are such, sometimes we only hear one-sided, view of it. And whenever people read such a thing in Ramcharitmanas, no matter how much of good teaching is there, their eyes get stuck only with these chaupais. Oh, even this tradition was there at that time, and so on. What about other teachings that are there? You say, no, that is okay, but only this chaupai you will catch. And I think over here, we should also get guidance from Shastriya Drishti. If Goswamiji has written, there is some meaning behind it, and it is our responsibility to see what is the deeper meaning. So over here, this is a tradition that Chandas is there, right? Daija diyo bahu bhati punikara jo rihima bhudara kahyo. Means he gave several gifts and everything. And this again is from Maharaj Ji. I'm not adding my own 2 cents. I'm nobody to add anything. But if they have said it, some Mahatmas who are followers of Parampara, then we should just understand it in the right perspective. So Maharaj Ji said that this tradition of giving gifts at that time was one of the ways by which the father ensured that whatever sampatti is there with him goes with his daughter also. Means once daughter goes to another house, to make sure that she is well taken care of there, and his sampatti reaches her also. And the way they would ensure that this, thing happens is by giving chala sampatti. Chala sampatti means that which moves. Land, for example, is achala sampatti. Sampatti means wealth. Achala means that which does not move. So they would ensure that whatever she would need in that house, all of that they would send it along. And these were the 2 reasons. One was because it is chala sampatti, it will stay with her and she can use it. If it is land, then what will she do, with the land over there? Another thing was to make sure that she also gets, a share of the father's sampatti. But after that, Himavan goes to Lord Shiva and says, Ka devu purana kama sankara charana pankaja gahirahyo. He says, Oh Lord Shiva, Bhagwan, you are Purna Kama. You are the Lord of this whole universe. Out of your own wealth, I'm taking a little bit and giving it back to you. This is the difference between Daksha Prajapati and Himavan. You see the Vamsha Shuddhi that has happened between Satiji's Vamsha and now Parvati ji. So Himavan is very, very sattvic, has lot of Shraddha in Bhagavan. And then he says, Nata Uma Mama Prana Sama Gruha Kinkari Karehu. Gruha Kinkari over here is Lord Shiva is her Swami, so it is Shiva Kinkari only. Means whenever we have to do anything, we should become like this. Do we ask Bhagwan before we say something? Do we ask Bhagwan before we do some important thing? If we are able to do that, if we are able to ask him, then we will become like that. And this quality, later on when Parvati ji becomes the student, that, comes out even more over there. One Maharaj ji, his name was Ram Kinkarji Maharaj. Very nice name. Means one who will always ask Bhagwan before doing anything. Or rather, their purity of mind is such, whatever they do is what Bhagwan wants. Means they don't have to check every time. That is the nature of a pure mind. Even the subconscious mind is so pure, even by mistake, no wrong, things come out. That is the highest, stage of purity of mind. And then he says, out of ignorance, if we did something or we said something, Oh Lord Shiva, please forgive me. So now we will chant after Doha number 101. बहुविधि शंभु सासु समुझाई गवनी भवन चरण सिरुनाई जननी उमा बोली तब लीन्ही लय उछंग सुंदर सिख दीन्ही करेहु सदा शंकर पद पूजा नारी धर्म पति देव न दूजा बचन कहत भरे लोचन बारी बहुरी लाई उरलीन्हि कुमारी कृत विधि सृजी नारी जग माही पराधीन सपने हो सुख नाही भयति प्रेम विकल महतारी धीरज कीन्ह कुसमय बिचारी पुनि पुनि मिलति परति गहि चरना परम प्रेम कछु जाई न बरना सब नारिन्ह मिली भेटी भवानी जाई जननी उर पुनि लपठानी जननी ही बहुरी मिली चली उचित शीस तब काहू दई फिर बिलो फिर बिलो फिर बिलो कत मातु तब सखी लय शिव पहि गई जाचक सकल संतोष शंकरु मां सहित भवन चले सब अमर हर्षे सुमन बरषि निशानन बाजे भले चले संग हिमवंतु तब पहुँचावन हेतु विविध भांति परितोष करी विदा कीन्ह वृष केतु तुरत भवन आए गिरिराई सकल शैल सरलिए बुलाई आदर दान विनय बहुमाना, सब कर विदा कीन हिमवाना। जब ही शंभु कैलास ही आए, सुर सब निज निज लोक सिधाए। जगत मातु पितु शंभु भवानी, ते सिंगारु न कहु बखानी। करहि विविध विधि भोग विलासा, गणन समेत बसहि कैलासा। हर गिरिजा बिहार नितनयऊ, एहि विधि विपुल काल चलि गयऊ। तब जनमेउ शठ बदन कुमारा, तारकु असुर समर जेहि मारा। आगम निगम प्रसिद्ध पुराना, शनमुख जनमु सकल जग जाना। जगु जान शनमुख जनमु करमु प्रताप, पुरुषारथु महान। तेहि हेतु मैं वृष केतु सुत कर चरित संक्षेप ही कहा। यह उमा शंभु विबाहु जे नर नारी, कहि जे गावही। कल्याण काज विवाह मंगल, सर्वदा सुख पावही। चरित सिंधु गिरिजा रमन, वेदन पावहि पारु। बरने तुलसीदासु किमी, अतिमति मंद गवारु। शंभु चरित सुनि सरस सुहावा, भरद्वाज मुनि अति सुख पावा। बहुलालसा कथा पर बाढ़ी, नयन नीरु रोमावली ठाड़ी। प्रेम विवश मुख आवन बानी, दशा देखि हर्षे मुनि ज्ञानी। अहो धन्य तव जन्म मुनीसा, तुमहि प्राण सम प्रिय गौरीसा। शिव पद कमल जिनहि रति नाही, राम ही ते सपने हुन सुहाही। बिनु छल विश्वनाथ पद नेहु, राम भगत कर लक्षण एहु। शिव सम को रघुपति व्रत धारी, बिनु अघत जी सती असी नारी। पनु करि रघुपति भगति देखाई, को शिव सम राम ही प्रिय भाई। प्रथम ही मैं कही शिव चरित, बूझा मरमु तुम्हार। सुचि सेवक तुम राम के, रहित समस्त विकार। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Now Shivji, after having spoken with Himavanji, he goes to Mainaji and consoles her. Because Lord Shiva also knows that she is mother, and she also must be having some guilt feeling about whatever thing she might have said before and everything. So Lord Shiva removes that guilt from her heart. And after she has met Bhagwan, she does her pranams and then goes and calls Parvati ji. With lot of love, she gives her advice about how she should live with Lord Shiva. And the main essence of this advice is what we find in our Shastras also, where she says, your life is going to be more of tapa pradhana. And the husband's life in general is more tyaga pradhana, means more of sacrifice, and the wife is more of tyaga, or wife is more of tapa. And she will have to go through many things, and the dharma of the husband is to do tyaga. And it is said if they are able to do that, then just by doing it, they get punya of what they would have got doing many other rituals. This is also said in our Vedas, that if this dharma can be followed, right? Nari dharmopati devana duja. If she is single-pointedly doing her duty and serving, it is that she will get the same punya that she would have gotten of when this man, he does Agnihotra or he does Sandhya Vandanam. It is the same punya she can get by doing this. That is why roles and responsibilities are very well allocated, even in rituals, who should be doing what. And the same Vedas say that there is no intention of not giving certain punya karmas to somebody and giving it to someone else. He said this is the system that has been created. If one can sincerely do it without actually they doing the ritual, they will get the same punya. So this understanding, Mainaji is giving it to her. And then she says that when you go to your husband's house, you will find many relatives from the other side. Sometimes you might get along, sometimes you might not get along. But remember, all sambandha that you are having with everybody is through your husband alone. Because you are having sambandha with your husband, everyone else you are having sambandha through them. If you have that in mind, and if you have love and devotion towards Lord Shiva, you say everything else will be taken care of. In the case of Lord Shiva, she doesn't have to worry too much because Lord Shiva is by himself. Nobody else to, question or tell. But this is a advice for all other sadhakas who are entering into grahastha ashrama, keeping in mind vivaha, vishishtam vahanam, which is all sambandhas are through your husband. So with that in mind, you relate, right? So then it will become meaningful, even if you have to step back somewhere, even if you have to not, make a big deal of certain things. Keeping this sambandha in mind, that is how one can live. And now on one side, she has a lot of love, because of which she says so many things, And on the other hand, she has this viveka also. She knows that this is not the right time to be too much of in sorrow and tell so many things to her. This is a joyous occasion, and I should send her off with a lot of joy. At the same time, she also remembers she is Jagadamba. So on one side there is love, other side she is doing pranams to Parvati ji. And then very dramatic description is there that Parvati ji is slowly going, and again she is looking back, to her mother, and all Sakhis are there around. And then they take her to Lord Shiva. Now after sending off Lord Shiva and all other Shiva Ganas along with Parvati ji, Himavan comes back and he doesn't forget his other guests. Sometimes it happens, when somebody important is there, other guests who are invited, they sometimes are forgotten. But Himavan is not like that. He comes back and makes sure that all sanmana, satkara is done of everybody who has come. He gives them all appropriate return gifts and then sends them back. All the devatas go back, and Lord Shiva also reaches Kailasa along with Parvati ji, and there they settle down. And it is that they explore different parts of Kailasa, and they stay there for a very long time. And this must not be an unfamiliar area for Parvati ji. She would have had many deja vu moments, from her Sati ji's life. Oh, here I have come before. Here also I have come before. So like that they stayed, and then Kartikeya Bhagavan was born, who went and finished Tarakasura. So that work was also done. Devatas are happy. Everybody is happy. Now you see the Phalashruti above third doha, in that Chandas, Goswamiji writes, Yaha Uma Sambhu Bibahu Je Nara Nari Kahahi Je Gavahi Kalyana Kaja Bibaha Mangala Sarvada Sukhu Pavahi. Means if somebody has this devotion to Bhagwan and they listen to this Shiva Vivaha Katha with lot of Shraddha, they'll be happy whenever there are auspicious occasions in the house and family. They'll be able to take rasa in that, and in particular whenever there are vivaha. Okay, kalyana kaja and weddings, vivaha, mangala sarvada sukhupavahi, means they will see the auspiciousness there. And only when we have a spiritual vision can we actually enjoy things. No matter which situation it is, no matter which place it is, even if it is a vacation spot, even if it is a tirtha yatra, even if it is a auspicious occasion or some occasion like, wedding, unless one has a spiritual vision, unless one knows to lift themselves above the situation and then look at things, one won't be able to enjoy that, place, occasion. Otherwise, any small thing would be sufficient to blow our mind here and there. Like you see in that entire Shiva Vivaha Prasanga, so many storms came and went. Right? First Saptarishis came. After that, the thali fell down. Mayanaji ran inside and then she started saying something else. So how was Parvati ji able to stay there with a very calm mind? Right? She says, Bhagwan is here. If he is on my side, nothing can shake me. So that is this Phalashruti, one who does this Parayanam with Shraddha Bhakti. That's why we try to chant all dohas and chaupais. And one who reflects on the meaning, right? They will be able to really enjoy and appreciate these Mangala Karya. Now Goswami says, Bhagwan's kathas are so infinite and they are so deep. How can I try to explain Bhagwan's kathas? I am trying it with my best ability, but again and again, it keeps falling short. Means you'll be surprised, after few years, after some more sadhana, when we revisit this, something more and something deep will strike. And we ourselves will be surprised, how did we miss it the first time? Right? So that is the glory of Bhagwan's Katha. We should never feel that it is done. Ramayana is finished. We will be finished, Ramayana will be there. So best thing is, keep coming back over and over again and then get new gems. Now the scene shifts back to where it started. Where did we start? So there was an ashrama of Bharadwaj Rishi, and there was a gathering of all Sadhu Mahatmas. In that, Yajnavalkya Rishi was there. And before he was getting ready to leave, Bharadwaj goes and catches hold of his feet. He says, I have a question which I'm hesitating to ask anybody else. But what can I hide from you, Yajnavalkya ji? That is why I am presenting this question in front of you. And he had said that I have heard the glory of Ramanama. But on the other hand, I also know that Bhagwan Rama was Dashratha Putra. And he got very angry at Ravana. So his charitra also I know. So is that same Rama, who is Dashratha Putra, who has done all this, things as a human being, is that same Rama the one who is worshipped by Rishi Munis? That was the question. And Yajnavalkya ji said, very good question. Similar question was asked by Sati ji to Lord Shiva. And then he elaborated this entire prasanga. Okay, so now the camera has shifted to that prasanga now. And Bharadwaj Rishi, when he heard this entire Shiva Vivaha, prasanga, Lord Shiva's charitra he heard, he felt very happy and content. Bharadwaja Muni ati sukhu pava. And what was the result of that? There was a thirst in him to know more now. But what happened next? What did Lord Shiva do? They went and settled down in Kailasa, that is okay. But what happened after this? I'm reading after Doha number 103. Nayanani Niru Romavali Thadi. And his eyes were all teared up. And there were horripilations just listening to Lord Shiva's glory. And looking at this, Prema Bibasa Mukha Avana Bani Dasa Deki Harashe Muni Gyani. Yajnavalkya ji was very happy looking at his disciple. Because the one whom he is going to address now is Bharadwaj ji. And looking at Bharadwaj's love for Lord Shiva, he felt very happy. Aho dhanya tava janma munisa tumahi prana sama priya gaurisa. He says there are many people who want so many things in this world, and their mind continuously gets drawn towards those things. And wherever our mind goes, that is where our rasa is right now. Rasa means taste. Okay. And you will see throughout the day, mind has a tendency to go in certain places involuntarily. Without us wanting it, it goes there. It could be a simple thing as, checking our phone. So if that rasa has happened, nobody has to tell us, you have to check your phone. It will automatically go there. But there are very few rare sadhakas whose mind effortlessly goes towards Bhagavan. Not only goes there, it stays there. Not only stays there, it dissolves there. That is our Bharadwaji. Means if mind is able to dissolve in Bhagavan means we are able to keep just that thought without anything else. He says then, Aho Dhanya. Janma is fulfilled. Then he says, my narration of this story was actually a test for you, Bharadwaj. So, test for me. How come? He says, first, before anybody has devotion to Bhagwan Rama, that person should invariably have devotion to Lord Shiva. And in this entire prasanga, Bhagwan Shiva portrays an ideal devotee. You start from how he started by taking that vow with Sati ji, right? He said, because she has even changed her body playfully, even then I cannot have the same bhava as before. Because now she has become my Aradhya, Bhagwan Rama's wife, who is Sita ji now. So he starts from that and the kind of discipline he maintains. And later on, even against Lord Shiva's will, Bhagwan Rama only comes and prompts him to get married to Parvati ji. So he says, okay, Bhagwan's ichha is that, I will do it. And that samadhi, when he goes into, the moment he comes out, first thing he says is, Rama, Rama. So he went into samadhi with Bhagwan's name, came out with Bhagwan's name. So Yajnavalkya ji is saying that, oh Bharadwaji, if your heart melts for such Lord Shiva, that means you also have the same devotion that should be there in a devotee's heart, who is devotee of Bhagwan Rama. Right? Because Lord Shiva is the supreme most devotee of Bhagwan Rama. And you are considering Lord Shiva as your role model. And we also see, right, whichever is our role model, wherever, that is where we have value towards. And towards that thing is where our mind effortlessly goes. That is where our rasa is. This is if your role model per se is Lord Shiva, then you are a devotee of Bhagwan. शिव सम को रघुपति व्रतधारी बिनु अगतजी सती असी नारी पनु करी रघुपति भगति दिखाई को शिव सम राम ही प्रिय भाई. And it says प्रथम ही मैं कहीं शिव चरित बूजा मरम तुम्हार. I told all of this so that I get to know your heart first. Before I give you the teaching, I should know what is in your heart. And now he says, I have come to know what kind of devotee you are. Suchi sevaka tuma Rama ke rahita samasta bikara. Means you are absolutely pure in your personality. Suchi, that you are. Sevaka Rama ke, very, very devoted to Bhagwan Rama. And you are without any kind of chala kapata. Bikara here means any kind of deceit. Now imagine this is a appreciation coming from Yajnavalkya Rishi, okay, his teacher. And a true teacher will say such a thing only when his heart is, filled with appreciation for the student. In general, you will never find such statements. It is only when they feel that, this is what I was looking for. And next, in the next doha, Yajnavalkya just expresses his delight. He says, I'm so grateful that I have a student like you. If there is a Shrotriya Brahmanishta teacher, and that teacher gets a student who is Tivra Mumukshu, like our Bharadwajji. Tivra Mumukshu means what? He's not asking questions just out of curiosity. In addition to curiosity, he is also ready to put forth effort to change his way of life, to change his personality. That student is ready. He says, this is whom I was looking for. Suni muni aju samagama tore kahina jai jasa sukhu manu more. I can't express how happy I am feeling that you have come here today. And he says, whatever is my ability, whatever I have heard from my teachers, jatha shruta, means I am shrotriya. He doesn't claim I am Brahmanishta. No teacher will claim it. But he says I am shrotriya. That much I can guarantee. Whatever I will tell you is authentic information that has come from a lineage of teachers. And he does a Mangala Charanam where he is praying to Bhagwan. He says, we don't develop eloquence in our speech on our own strength. He says, Bhagwan is Antaryami. If he wills, then he brings eloquence in our speech and our ability to express things. Jehi para krupa karahi janu jani kabhi ura ajira nachavahi bani. Means Bhagwan is as though making our speech dance. And he says Saraswati ji is the one who resides in our speech. And if we turn our attention away from Bhagwan, he says it doesn't take much time for that speech to go here and there. Right? So what we otherwise pray to Bhagwan as Tanme Manaha Shiva Sankalpam Astu. Bhagwan, you are Antaryami. May you prompt the right thoughts and may that translate into right speech. This is the same Mangala Charanam that Shukdevji Maharaj also does in Bhagavatam. Before he starts answering to Parikshit ji's question, same Mangala Charanam he does. So Alankrushishta Bhagavan Vacham Sime, like that he does. That Bhagwan, may you do Alankara of my speech. Vachamsi means speech. Alankrushishta Bhagavan. May you come and decorate this speech. And it is you only who is speaking through me. So with this, everything is set now. The portion from now onwards is called as Shiva Gita. Okay, so this is the teaching part of this entire Shiva Vivaha Prasanga. Lord Shiva is going to teach Parvati ji. She is going to ask some questions now. So that we will see next time. There are some announcements, so please stay back. We will do our Nama Sankirtanam. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama, Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama, Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama, Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama, Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama, Papa Vimochana Shri Rama, Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama, Jaya Raghurama Jaya Sita Rama, Vanara Sevita Shri Rama, Varidhi Bandana Jaya Jaya Rama, Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama, Patita Pavana Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Syavara Ramachandra ki Jai.